most decorated British women's cyclist of all time.
She always wants more. She always wants to be better, driven to success after success. The epitome of a professional athlete.
That is fabulous!
The Olympics take place in August, and at the start of August, Laura needs to be the fastest athlete on the planet.
What an inspiration for women's cycling.
It's gold, and it's Laura Kelly's fifth, I remind you.
Laura's right at the start of her journey to Paris. Everybody else on the journey is not right at the start, so Laura's got a mountain to climb.
I'm Dame Laura Kenny. I'm a Team GB track cyclist, and I'm a 5-time Olympic gold medalist. The two different comebacks between Albie and Monty have been so different. With Albie, I came back feeling like I had a point to prove, that you could be a mum and you could be Olympic champion all at the same time. I think this time I've come back for me. I've come back very much because I love riding my bike and I cannot imagine it not being part of my life.
Hello. Good. Nice to see you again. You too. Welcome back. I'm keen to assess a few bits and pieces. Obviously, you'll remember a little bit of what we did first time round. And then we'll put a few steps in place and sort of things that we will need you to do to be able to return to the level we're looking to get to.
Okay, cool.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah, of course it does, yeah. I don't know whether maybe I was just more scared with Albie and I'd heard more stories. But this time around, yeah, I feel like the recovery post-birth's been a lot easier.
Subconsciously, you've been listening to the exercises.
Maybe.
Returning Laura from a major injury and returning from pregnancy, they're two quite different things. Historically, she's had shoulder fracture, for example. You're able to maintain the rest of the body quite well, even though you're protecting the injured part. The whole body's been through a significant event with pregnancy. I feel okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Perfect. So we've got a bit of low-level control. So I think we'll go into the gym and we'll go through a few other exercises. That's meant that she's had to fully detrain, understandably, and the body's been through significant changes, and therefore sort of the return phase would typically be much more slower and more thought out.
Hello.
What are you up to?
Do you want to go?
Becoming pregnant, having Albie, and coming back from that was new ground. Laura hadn't done it before. None of her support team had done it before. We didn't know what would be possible. I don't think Laura's made it a secret that she's maybe got one more in her. Knowing Laura, there's only one thing she's interested in. She's not there for silvers, she's not there for taking part. It's gold or nothing.
When I told you lot that I was having Albie, I was terrified, wasn't I?
I think the conversation was just brilliant. So I've got something to tell you. So do you think, like, if I have a baby, that I'm destroying my career? Luckily, I answered with no, because if I'd answered yes, the next question or the next thing was, I'm pregnant. So I think I got that right that day.
I had a point to prove. There needed to be some sort of role model for people. I was so nervous telling you lot because I was thinking, well, I could end my career now. I didn't know that my body could bounce back.
And I think that's it, because no one had ever done it before.
And then to put on top of that, I also wanted to win.
Team GB are going to take the bell here. Final lap, and what a display it is as well. They have spun away. It's gold, and it's Laura Kelly's fifth.
And what ended up happening after that?
Having the ectopic was way worse than the miscarriage. It all happened so fast. I went to hospital thinking I had COVID, severe COVID, and then left just like, what the hell, like having a major operation that I didn't know I was pregnant. It was all terrifying, really. I struggled massively mentally after everything that we went through, and I would say I probably wasn't truly happy until I fell pregnant with Monty. You're living a life in the public eye, and obviously we had the Commonwealth Games and stuff, didn't we? and I had to pretend that everything was okay.
Making Team GB is incredibly hard. We've got a whole nation of people, some of whom are desperate to be representing Great Britain at the Olympic Games, who are knocking on the door to be in the position that Laura and her colleagues are.
Velodromes, I'd say, are the best atmosphere to watch any sporting event. The noise is honestly insane. It's like nothing. You hit these speeds that you don't hit anywhere else. We haven't got any weather to contend with. We have the banking, we have the G-force, we have the noise of the wheels. There's just so many things that make track cycling to me so special. Literally every bike race, right, I try and find where my family are. My nerves settled a lot more if I could see where they were in the stands.
Returning Laura from pregnancy. We call it return to exercise because it doesn't look like training at the minute, and it's not the training Laura used to do.
For me now, it's basically rehab. It's as if I've been injured, and we have a process that I go through. Slow and steady at the minute. You know that little saying, slow and steady wins the race? I'm always like, trust me, it doesn't. But when it comes to the rehab, it kind of does. Like, I can't rush it on, I can't push it on. It can be hard at times.
In a world that for you was falling apart,
Yeah.
cycling was actually it was coming to your rescue. And if you took that away as well,
Then
what did you have?
Exactly.
Like, you had absolutely nothing. Stopping would have been the worst thing.
The level that Laura's trying to come back to is streets ahead of where it was even just a few years ago. For sure, if Laura wants to achieve it, she will.
The success she's had speaks for itself, but to work with her as an athlete, and that just comes down to her hunger.
I obviously want to compete in the next Olympics. I know everyone thinks that I'm absolutely mad in saying that, but if I don't try, I'll never know. And I would hate to be sat here thinking, well, I never even gave it a go to see whether I could make it possible. I hope both children see their mum as someone who was determined to make both things work. They will never have the burden of thinking, oh, well, mum had me and then ended her career, because I didn't. I carried on. I made it work. I hope that they look back and they can see that, and they can see that from the day they were born, they were part of the journey.